Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today, yesterday, the battle for Azeroth Alpha spell changes just came out. So I want to take a look at them with you guys. We're going to be looking at some of the mage changes initially. I've done a little bit of reading on here, but I haven't done too much. So this is kind of like the first time I'm reading it. I will have the link down below if you guys want to read changes for your classes as well. And let me know if you guys want me to cover more classes. But since I'm a mage main, we're going to start with the mage changes. So right away, guys, woo, new. I like when it says new. Arcane Intellect is being reintroduced into the game, infuses the target with brilliance, increasing their intellect by 5%. This is Arcane Intellect as we know it, guys. I'm so happy a lot of buffs are back. So not just that Arcane Intellect's back, but stuff like Mark of the Wild's back, and I think some blessings for Paladins as well. We'll have to take some more look at that, but the fact that some buffs are back is a huge step for the game in the positive direction, right? Pruning the abilities, getting rid of abilities is, in my opinion, bad for the game. So when we're introducing some old spells back into the game with the new expansion, that makes me just so excited, and I can't wait to get a hold of the alpha and to the beta and for the actual live game to mess around with Arcane Intellect once again. And the reason, guys, I think a spell like Arcane Intellect is so valuable for the game, but PvP more specifically, is because when you have Arcane Intellect up and it gets purged off and you don't rebuff it, guess what? You're going to do 5% less damage, right? You have 5% less intellect. So you have to rebuff it to continue doing damage. The fact that you have to rebuff it to do more damage, it seems so simple and easy, adds a layer of skill to the game. It adds a little skill cap, right? So if you don't have Arcane Intellect up and you don't have maybe Encanners for it up, I'm referring to Mr. Pandaria here. If you don't have like Encanners up and you don't have Intellect up and you don't, have a Trinket proc up and all of these things up, you're going to do no damage. But then if you, stack your Encanners, your Intellect, your Trinket procs, all of a sudden you're doing a ton of damage. So that would separates like a bad player and just a beginner, not a bad player, I guess, just, someone who's just starting the game versus someone who's very experienced and they're going to do a lot more damage. Why do I think that's good? I think players should definitely be rewarded for doing the correct thing or being aware that they didn't have Arcane Intellect up and redoing that, right? That's one of my main problems with Warlords of Draenor. One of my main problems with Legion is that the skill disparity or the skill gap, it just doesn't seem like it matters much at all, right? A great player is not that much different from a not so great player, and that is the number one thing that I think Arcane Intellect is going to help fix, and just reintroducing more spells is going to definitely help fix that. So I'm very excited for that Arcane Intellect rant over. Just real quickly, guys, on a lot of these spell changes, there's going to be percentage differences, okay? There's a stat squish in the next expansion, so these percentage differences, I don't want to put a huge emphasis on, right? Like Frostbomb is being nerfed from 184% to 50%, but we don't know what that means. The number changes are very arbitrary right now, so I don't want you guys to focus too much on the number changes. Let's more look at the changes in the spells. So, the spell power change is different here from Arcane Missiles, but it looks like they're giving it a 60-yard range. So I'm not sure if that's actually, the case. I don't know if I might just be testing this out, but a 60-yard range for missiles would be absolutely bonkers. Frostbomb here, already in the game, we're taking a look at just spell power changes once again. Same thing here with Frost Nova. A lot of these changes, guys, we're going to breeze over just because, it's the numbers are very arbitrary. We're keeping Frozen Orb here kind of as is. Same thing with Living Bomb. Now Mana Attunement is going up to 100% passive instead of 50%, so that's very interesting. Mark of Alunus. So this is a huge deal to me. One of the things that made Legion so great, and yes, I do like Legion, even though I have some problems with Legion, I do enjoy the game overall, was the artifact abilities, guys. Every class, whether I'm playing my rogue and I have that Gormaz Bite, whether I'm playing my mage with the Ebon Bolt or my mage with the Mark of Alunith, every class that I play, that artifact ability actually makes it fun, whereas I hated, I don't want to say hate, that's a strong word, I very strongly disliked Warlords of Draenor because the game felt so stale. These artifact abilities, guys, gave us some a big one-shot, really, for each class. We kind of have that one-shot ability that really emphasizes the class. I was scared that we would lose this ability, right? Like, I'm like, no, what about Ebon Bolt? What about Mark of Alunith? It seems like some of the artifact abilities they're keeping in the game right here. Mark of Alunith looks like they're going to be keeping it in the game. So I'm super excited about that. Not sure if they're keeping things like Ebon Bolt, but we'll have to, or Phoenix Flames from Fire, but we'll have to take a look further at these notes. Nether Tempest. Very interesting. Looks like they're just changing the numbers here. Time Warp, 30 plus 25% of the spell power. Okay, and Wizardry. Looks like they're just changing the numbers on that just a little bit as well. So as we scroll down here through, so I'm just going over the mage changes, guys. There's a bunch of other class changes. Like I said, if you want me to do a video on specifically a certain class, let me know. But just for the mage changes here, we're looking at their talents. We're keeping Arcane Orb, we're keeping Blast Wave, Bone Chilling as we know it, Cinderstorm as we know it, Comet Storm as we know it. We'll keep going down here. I'm just scrolling through with my eyes until I'm seeing anything that seems very interesting. Glacial Spike, so that's, you know, semi-new ability that we actually are keeping, so we'll have to see how viable. I know at the start of this expansion, Glacial Spike was so powerful, and they nerfed it since then, and it's not very great anymore, but Glacial Spike playstyle is definitely one that I do enjoy, so we'll have to see how that's going to be in the new expansion as well. Glacial Insulation looks like they're making it a little more powerful. Ice Flows here. It doesn't sit, like, max 3 charges is in red, so I wonder if it's only going to be 1 charge or how that's going to work here. For Ice Flows, Ice Nova, Slight Damage Nerve, same thing with Living Bomb. Mana Adept, little new icon. So while you are at 80% or above 80% mana, Arcane Missiles fires 2 additional missiles. So this is very interesting. I actually kind of like this. This is currently not in the game as far as I know, and basically means if you're keeping high mana as an Arcane Mage, you're going to do a ton more damage with the Arcane Missiles, right? So if you have Arcane Power and 80% plus mana and you're just throwing out missiles, you're gonna really one-shot someone. I like this kind of idea. It's going to give you more incentive not to just burn through all your mana, but instead conserve that mana and, you know, get ready for one big, like, massive burst setup. So cool idea on that ability there. Meteor, Nether Tempest, Phoenix Flames is new. Okay, so we do have Phoenix Flames as well here in the game still. So cool. I like that they're adding these artifact abilities back into the game, keeping them, because removing abilities, guys, is never a fun thing. As we've experienced a little bit in Legion and Worlds of Draenor, moving abilities or removing abilities is not the greatest thing overall. Ray of Frost looks like we're keeping it. Rule of Threes is a new ability, so it looks like they're adding a lot of new stuff for Arcane. And guys, keep in mind, this is just the alpha. Tons of things can still change, but Rule of Threes, when you gain your 3rd Arcane charge, your next spell costs no mana. Interesting. Okay, so when you're 3rd to your 4th Arcane charge, you can do a free Arcane Blast. That should help you kind of not go as probably synergizes very well with Mana Adept. And if you're using this spell very, like, knowingly, and you're like, okay, this spell costs no mana, and you're using a high mana cost ability, like that Arcane Blast, or a Spell Steal. Ooh, there's a lot you could do with this with Spell Steal as well. Pretty cool ability there. I like abilities that take a lot of thinking, take a lot of skill cap, so I'm excited to try out Rule of Threes, definitely. So Supernova staying in the game, Temp Flux, 5 seconds after evocation ends, you gain its effect again, so that's definitely a little bit of a change there. Unstable Magic looks like it's they're just changing it to 40% for all 3 specs. Now moving on, Chill to the Bone, slight spell power decrease, Arcane Barrage, blah blah blah. Kind of want to just look at the new stuff here. Arcane Blast, Arcane Explosion, Arcane Mage, bunch of different changes here in the green. So the red is what is removed, the green is and underline is what is added. Arcane Missiles, Clear Casting, Prismatic Barrier. Looks like a lot of this stuff is going to be the same. I'm excited to read the frost changes, so we'll have to see here. So Blazing Barrier, Combustion, Dragon's Breath, Fire Mage, Fireball, Flame Strike, Pyro Scorch. Looks like a lot of the stuff we're already very familiar with is staying. Now here, it does say that Fire Blast is going to be available for Frost. Now, flashback back to Warlords of Draenor, in the alpha notes it said that we would have it this expansion too in Legion, and we didn't. So I don't know if this is some type of mistake, some type of bug, if we're actually going to get Fire Blast, but I love Fire Blast for Frost. A couple different reasons. One, if I get locked out on Arcane, locked out on Frost, it gives me something that I can cast that's fire. A little bit of damage. It's not too much damage, but just a little bit. Also, it's a good totem poker. I want to hit a totem, kill a totem real quick, boom, just throw a Fire Blast, a little bit of extra damage here and there. If I get locked out on spells, kills totems, love a little bit more versatility in the spec. I would love Fire Blast back as Frost. We don't know if it's just a mistake or not, but would definitely love an extra ability. So here's the Frost changes, guys. Crossing our fingers for Deep Freeze, of course, and it does not look like I see it. I just quickly scanned through everything. Does not look like I see it, and I don't see Ebon Bolt either. So, guys, I am really hoping that this is an incomplete alpha list. Blizzard, if you're watching, Deep Freeze and Ebon Bolt, we want those back for Frost for sure. But just quickly, let's go through the list. We have Blizzard, we have Brain Freeze, Cone of Cold Flurry, Frostbolt, Frozen Orb, Ice Barrier, Ice Lance, Water Jet. All things that we already are familiar with. I hope we get to see some new stuff. There is some new stuff that looks very interesting for Arcane, and I love playing Arcane too, so I definitely will be playing Arcane in the expansion, but I'm that main Frost Mage. I've been playing Frost Mage for a super long time, so hopefully we get Ebon Bolt back, hopefully we get Deep Freeze back, and then maybe even some new stuff as well. Guys, if you enjoyed this video covering the battle for Azeroth Alpha spell changes, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see other classes spell changes, I mean, I play a lot of my Priest, a lot of my Rogue, a lot of my Shaman, a lot of my Druid, make sure to leave that comment down below and I can go over more classes. And I'll link this as well if you guys want to check out the changes for your specific class that you play. Guys, thumbs the video down if you didn't like it, talk to me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.